Hello.
Hello. You have yet to receive your client's kneecaps as payment. Yeah. That's not that kind of court. That sounds like a civil matter. I think.
I'm staying out of this.
Yeah, okay.
You're the lawyer here. Actually, no.
I'm the lawyer's assistant. You're the lawyer.
Yeah.
You're rubbish.
Okay.
Hey-o.
Hello.
Dio.
You got. Please tell me. Oh no, did the desktop audio just stop working? No, it was
seriously?
working. Wait. Maybe this is really quiet.
I think it's
okay.
really. 27 is pretty freaking quiet.
That's what I had it on yesterday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know then. Yeah,
It's just a small delay in the audio, I think. Sorry about that. We do what we can.
Yay, cheap capture card.
Cheap capture card. Like,
As long as I don't have to do any more singing this.
yeah,
today.
do let me know if you guys can't hear the audio for some ungodly reason.
Yeah.
Oh, start playing at the start of this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck at work, Asa.
Yeah, good luck at work. Thank you for dropping in.
Don't take too many kneecaps at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do, depending on your preference.
Mm.
Take all the kneecaps.
Yes.
Why are you crackling our speakers? What did
I
you...
don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
why it
you've
made
got that
There we go.
attached to... Yeah, okay.
It was touching a cable and I was
Yeah.
making crackling
Jeez.
noises. Sorry.
You're not a 6 a.m. person? No.
Nah, same.
No, same.
I'm not a before 8 a.m. person, really.
No, I try to be sometimes.
Yeah.
But my body doesn't like it.
Yeah, sometimes I wake up before it and then I'm just tired for the rest of the day.
For sure.
This is horrid. Horrid. So we're about to start a new case.
Yeah.
The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought more water than I had yesterday, so
Yes.
destroyed.
Can't
my
wait for me to be
voice.
like, oh, I'll just do one voice. So I'll alter one.
I'm so glad that we're off the Russian shit. So now I don't have to do that anymore.
Or tense music. That doesn't follow the thing and it's causing me pain.
We all have our things.
Oh, voice.
I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter.
Let's put it up for a little bit. Hope it's not too loud.
A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Uh-huh. Alright. Oh, yeah. Usually people die when we get cutscenes like these, so...
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
You got her voice quite well.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
That's definitely a word for it.
London King.
London King. I was like, that's super... The center of the world.
Brian's Coco.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to
This
go.
isn't London. They can get a taxi.
In that case, Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure.
Also, there's snow everywhere,
We used to have snow.
and things are still working.
Visiting
Oh, yeah.
students from abroad, eh?
True.
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
They're being nice to foreigners.
Bye bye,
This is
tiny
not
urchin.
London.
And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
That didn't look very London to me.
Doesn't look like the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. Well, a little bit
Are we
of
talking
Washington in
about-
there.
Is this Crystal Palace era, or is this... what era are we looking at?
Really, very early ages.
Well, not that early ages.
No, you just, I don't fucking
Clearly.
remember.
Post-industrial. The Lord Chief Justice's office is in the top of... in the clock. I can't remember what the tower casing's called.
Well,
That's very...
well,
It's like watching a Professor Layton episode, actually.
it is. What an incredible place.
It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure those gears will actually grind you up to a pulp. They're not doing anything other than just there to grind up the orphans.
Mm-hmm.
This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
This is like the clock demands blood. Quick, bring me another orphan for the grinder. Stop it. No, there's a bell here. Yeah, right. Like, isn't the bell actually called Big Ben? Isn't that? It's the bell, right?
I don't bloody know. I live here. Don't expect me to know anything about your country.
I mean, you hit the hour and the Supreme Judge just drops dead. Exploding brain. How can I know? Sorry, I'm gonna get off the orphan grinder now. We're done.
There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials.
Yeah, this is absolutely bonkers.
What is this place again?
This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain.
The Lord Chief Justice.
We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan.
But Kazuma can't.
No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity, as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death.
Wouldn't a letter have done the job? Like a telegram? I don't fucking know. Yes.
And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done.
So we'd have to return to Japan.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain,
I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour.
yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
I've been studying
You've been studying all month.
the law, which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognised as a lawyer. Have you taken the bar?
Do they even have the bar at this point in
I have
history?
no idea.
I'm pretty sure we don't have any bar exams.
The things
here.
I know about lawyers.
I just know that they have to take a bar exam, and that's kind of where it stops.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Okay, all I know about. Sorry. My lawyer knowledge is basically two things. My uncle,
Yeah, Uncle the
And-
boat lawyer.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call
It
Saul.
stops. I know nothing about law.
Oh, it's going so well.
I don't. Why is it even called the bar? Like.
Yeah, I actually used to know that, but I don't
Oh!
know that anymore. No, everything I know about lawyers, really, I learned from listening to episodes of Rumpole of the Bailey on the radio. That's all. Elizabeth Tower, aka Great Clock of Westminster, aka Clock Tower, is not Big Ben, despite what people say.
Anyway, sorry. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
Oh, pressure. I hope I'm up to scratch. Sure job.
Tit biscuits.
I mean, I can
does
do
this, Does this sound like an objectionably English person, do you think?
Possibly it's just neutral English.
Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. No, I should have been objectionable.
Oh.
I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan.
He looks like he belongs in Ishgard somehow.
I don't like him. Also a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, definitely Oh my god, yes.
It seems like I am 1 hour, 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
Oh, no, don't mention it. We've never been happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do.
How fortunate. So, introductions. I'm Male Strongheart. Male. Okay. Do you think his wife's called Female Strongheart?
I want you to just read the lines now.
Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire.
He also looks like a fighting game character.
He does.
Like,
he does.
he looks like he could go into Guilty Gear. Not gonna lie.
Actually, just quite intimidated.
And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
Come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't be a mouse.
It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. Aye. Do you know I can't pronounce my own name anymore? Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sticking to that.
I'm sticking to that. We're in Britain now.
Oh,
Nobody can say our name.
Pigeons are attacking.
Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire.
He doesn't seem very British. Like, even his name makes me think he's like from Germany.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I'm very intimidated.
Did he make the bell ring so when he said that? I bet he has that, but he's probably got like a string tied to that stick.
Yeah.
Just so that every time he does that hand gesture, a
Can I
bell
examine
rings.
him? Oh, he disappears.
Oh, that's the reason why he came late, because he timed himself so he could say it.
Oh, you're right! Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room. You got armor in Japan.
I believe they are... Yes, they're suits of armor.
Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan, guarding shrine gates.
No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know.
She's not wrong!
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong!
And they roam around in the middle of the night.
Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Mrs. Sato?
This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask.
I mean, where did she get that incredible tone? Okay, so we've checked out the armor. Okay, this
Some guy hitchhiking across the galaxy gave it to her, obviously. This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble.
It looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. Sorry.
I think that's your fanciful information at work.
We're both
I think
doing well.
it's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo.
It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here. Well, the books aren't.
I know. That's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure.
Have you checked these books? Oh, is this a pillar we're checking out? Just look at all the... Oh, no, it's like all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling.
And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream.
Yes, a very bad dream.
They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations. I am unable to read today. That's fun. This is going to go well.
I
France,
hate you, game.
Germany, Spain, the Netherlands.
She would know better.
She would know. And
We had agreements with Japan before we had.
It's
They
true.
had agreements with Britain. But go off, I guess.
Have that weird obsession with tulips
Yeah. Well,
and windmills.
see, I don't remember what the Japanese word is for the Netherlands. It's probably something like Hollandia.
Probably.
What about Russia?
Why do you ask? We just got off a Russian ship. But okay.
I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think?
I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned.
Right. So we check this. Oh, we get to check the gears. Is this some kind of clock?
Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock.
To be fair, she's reading book titles.
Britain would just have it at Holland. It's true. To be fair, when I learned about the Netherlands in school, we did learn about Holland.
It's just so good that you guys learned about two
Yeah.
provinces.
Yeah.
Anyway, around this time of okay, from a historical perspective, Holland is probably more correct right now. But anyway.
But those gears are larger than anything you'd find on a steam locomotive even.
It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? The Lord Chief Justice, I mean.
Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they?
I'm not sure you could fiddle with clocks this size, and I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. So this is how we know it's a fantasy
See, green
game.
screen. Or
Oh my god!
imagine.
There's actually something quite soothing about the precise rhythm.
Edwardian green screen.
Edwardian green screen.
I have no idea if this is... I genuinely cannot identify the time period.
I very much, I think they told me. When was Sherlock Holmes supposed to take
No idea,
place?
don't remember. Not looking it up.
Okay, well.
You can if you want. Do you want me to look it up? I
No,
can
it's
look it up.
okay. We can converse with him. That gives you something to do.
Put my phone down.
So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London?
Well, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city.
It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh.
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station.
A load of stuff just fell off my desk. Okay.
Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words.
I think it's supposed to take place like let's see.
Look.
The Sherlock Holmes is between 1880 and 1914. So there we go. There you go. Yeah, Susato is really saving my ass here, like,
Yeah, she really is.
as always.
Edwardian era was 1901 to 1910.
So yes,
That's-
correct.
Yeah, okay.
That is when we are now.
Um,
We're doing history.
yes.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water, and gas, even cables supplying electricity.
Well, now you're just showing off.
We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh, yes! Astounded is the word!
Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigour.
Yes.
There's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Aha, gotcha.
Wow. Back in those days, people still got excited about things, huh, in this country?
Not really, no.
Great exhibition.
It's more of
Yeah.
a national pride situation.
Yeah.
Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city.
So it kind of is a Crystal Palace kind of
Yeah.
era.
Sounds like it.
It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Yeah, exactly that.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Well, hey, I love having a conversation with myself.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the centre of the modern world.
As if you're not used to having conversations with myself, yourself, considering I continue to check out. Even if you do say so yourself. was for the game.
The sun will never set on our great empire.
Ah, good. We're still in the Empire mindset. Nodding.
Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun.
Cool. Well, let's talk about law students. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you?
Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Asugi, if my memory serves.
That's right.
The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
That's amazing.
His dentures fell out.
The news reached him before we even arrived. Good God, it's the English Empire.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you.
And you honoured this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. Now tell me, you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo!
This is it then. The moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead?
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean? I'm so intimidated when he does that.
Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is... This really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. She's saving her ass again.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? If there is someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... Actually, there's no one. It's Miss Susato and it's me.
You have been studying.
It's me! I can do it!
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but...
No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer?
I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me. And I was the accursed. Accused. The accursed. The accursed hold. Anyway, but I can also go for the details. I've been spending every spare moment on this journey here. On the journey here to Great studying. Oh my god.
Britain.
I'm so nervous. I don't know what to say anymore. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realise it's far too short of, a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan.
I believe you can.
Yeah. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey has only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, But I will do anything to prove that I have what it takes. And test your care. What was
Any
it?
test you care to
And
care.
any tell you thank you. Oh no, my voice.
Do you
Just
want
one
some of
chance. That's all I'm asking for. I got
Okay.
a.
Then have a
Please.
taste. 31 seconds.
Sorry.
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. Oops. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh, thanks.
So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. But let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes.
You say you intend to do ever... Never mind.
I'm nervous. I'm coughing. Oh.
So rude. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Well, yes. That's my intention.
I see.
Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden?
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
What kind of horrifying... what? Especially certified lawyer, huh? Really?
Wink wonk.
So, what form will the test take exactly?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Your timing is perfect. In fact, there's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news.
Today?
Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test.
Imagine being the poor sod who just
Right.
gets like a Japanese lawyer, allegedly, who hasn't even done the bar, saying to you,
Taking the bar.
thank you.
What could be simpler?
Done the bar, taken the bar.
I mean, you've been in the bar.
How do I keep getting myself in these situations? Yeah, well.
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes. Good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. The murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital
Yeah, we
punishment?
Still had that back then.
He'll be put to death?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows, without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I have decided it is acceptable.
Well.
Why does he have a toilet flushing handle on his cane?
Yeah, I keep wondering as well, like, what's it supposed to be? Like, I guess it's like a turning crank thing for like...
Oh, it's a cog, turny, cranky
Yeah.
boy. It's a toilet flusher.
It's a toilet flusher. But you can't do that,
He has
can
to
you?
flash this man's toilet down the future, after all. Toilet down the future? You got what I meant. There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
It's that simple. It's just like, don't be poor.
Yeah, easy peasy.
So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job.
I'm like, but there's so many different kinds of lawyers. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I specialise in tree law.
Yeah, tree law.
Tree
Please,
law.
sir. I read up about your tree law.
Great British tree law, yay! Cut your head to his back. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Alright then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it! I can't get the words out!
15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato, but what could I do?
It's alright. I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Oh, she should really be the lawyer here,
All
let's
right.
be real.
What are you trying to say, madam?
I think what Mrs. Sato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognised as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day. But for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, was there something else?
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said...
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
Thank you, Ganondorf.
Thank you,
I
Ganondorf.
can't believe it's been 14 months.
Yeah, wow. Hello, also.
But that's awful.
But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
I'm really his only hope.
Does seem sus. So,
Because like this, it's this really clear cut, like, you know, no way you can lose case, and yet this man has nobody to defend him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sure.
we've always seen how well it goes when people try and defend themselves on the stand.
Yeah.
right? So,
Ask this guy. He decides to do it.
what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
Bye.
He's gone.
The Old Bailey.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
Yeah, the flashing of the screen, I do wish that it didn't go to white every single time.
Yeah.
Quite painful when you're playing at night as well.
Yeah.
Suddenly the whole bedroom is lit up by switch screens.
Yeah. Miss Susato, can I just ask you something?
Careful! From this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant.
I know.
Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will.
You know, you could just say, I think we should just hurry to the courtroom. Minus the just. It wasn't there. I made it up.
Justice system.
The justice system. Yeah.
If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey.
Okay, well. On the move!
Off we go. To the Old Bailey.
Yeah, the office of the Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority. So we're going to the Old Bailey, London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey. This is where I am to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. But if we don't actually are certified to be a lawyer, how can we even present somebody in court?
Yes, well.
Well, details, I mean,
Yeah. Suspend thy disbelief.
yeah. Oh, I got a moustache.
He does
Dude,
got a
on the
moustache.
right. The
Yeah.
antechamber.
Auntie's chambers.
Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I can't wait to have like nothing prepared for the
Wow.
defense. It's like, wait, yeah.
London traffic really was
Uh-huh.
different in the old days, wasn't it?
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could be so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard?
No.
Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favourite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die. And we had to pay gold for the privilege.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Let's be real here, mate. The fact that you arrived here with 15 minutes to spare, worth the money, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how
Probably
much
rode on some of the pavements. I don't know how much a guinea was, don't ask. Hang on, I can look it up.
Oh. Yes, I suppose there's that. I'll let you talk in a second.
Though guinea coins had not been made for a long time, prices often continued to be shown in guineas until British prices became decimal in 1971.
Decimal.
A guinea was worth £1, 1 shilling. This is the same as £1 and 5 pence in modern money. Although I don't know if like
I feel that's not adjusted for inflation.
a guinea was worth £1.
Like that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
Like if that was for £1.
It was the first English machine-struck gold coin,
Ooh.
originally representing a value of 20 shillings, equal to £1. Originally.
That's so much money. No wonder he went crazy fast.
A guinea contains 7.7 grams of gold, so its worth today is valued firstly on its metal value alone. At today's prices, that makes it worth at least £440. Although this other person's, place says £246. So
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
and this
anyway.
place says $400. So either way, it was worth about £1, which
That's-
wasn't a small amount back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here. But there's no sign of him at all. Maybe he's the sofa. Are we defending the sofa as the sofa a murderer?
So this is the Old Bailey. Even the room for defendants to wait is grand. Well, yeah.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm
feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
It almost was. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Oh dear. Well, this isn't happening.
What? Top of the morning?
Top of the morning.
Calling to you, madam.
To you, madam.
Sir?
Willy Wonka?
But yeah.
I can't read that accent. I can't read it. I can't do an Irish accent.
Oh, crap. Is that supposed to be Irish?
I am reasonable. Anything that starts with top of the morning to you is
what
definitely
I
supposed to be. What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they?
Sorry?
Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are you? I'm sorry, okay? I'm just gonna try.
Yeah, it's okay. You have a better shot than me.
Don't know about that.
He does look like he's very scared. If I'm perfectly honest.
Terrifies me.
We're from Japan, yes.
Ah, Japan is it? Right. Say no more. So, how much do yous need?
No, we're just here because.
No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all well in a strange, faraway land. Creeps me out so
actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet. No.
'Tis grand, 'tis grand.
He has no neck and it scares me.
Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. You have no neck. 1,000 guineas?
Please, Mr. Sato. You don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What?
Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over.
Do you now? Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! This hit me right in the eye.
Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me.
Oh?
To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock.
Oh.
So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now.
Okay, how the fuck did this man not have any
representation unless his case is so bad that nobody would represent him?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Despite
going
the fact
for
that
here.
old Strong in the Fart said...
Yeah. Well, do we...
Yeah, well...
He's an old boy. We do not trust him. Oh, well, the thing is...
Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, The trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all.
His fucking face though, wasn't it? So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
Did he sound like the kind of person who would make it all up? I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names.
No. Sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see.
I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the centre of London, is another beautiful park.
Sorry? Park? What?
It's called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London. A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people.
That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary.
But now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you?
Where do we start? Or you're trying to defend coloured people in this day and age.
Huh?
Never mind.
That's you.
No! Alright, don't pass out!
Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves, while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Keep forgetting that's me. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do
our best.
Yeah.
What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. But
No, I think I see what's going on here.
sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England?
Correct.
Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well?
Well... Yes, I'm not even gonna lie exactly, because... Yes, exactly.
What now?
Well, like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to present you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than that you're guilty of the charges. I just had to do it.
Well, you call a spade in the East, so you do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. Me and you both, buddy. That's my excuse. And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so...
Is that so? Because you sounded fluent enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be.
I'm terribly sorry. I quite like the guy, though. Like,
I mean,
he terrifies me.
I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella.
It is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer? I mean...
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Don't
fear him. It's fine.
Sorry, did he just say Reaper?
Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barock Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor.
Oh dear. And Van Zeeks.
Van Zeeks, indeed. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper. When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs.
And
to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor,
The accused has been damned.
What?
So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defence against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barrack found Seeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth?
The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial's about to begin.
His counsel? That would be me.
Sorry, you can do the lines if you want. You're welcome.
Oh no, you do such a good job.
Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
I think that's the flashing screen like this is a very Ace Attorney staple.
It's been in the series for so long. But on the smaller screens it was less painful, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't even told me what happened.
Until you showed your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I had.
Sorry?
I decided I'd have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked out?
But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? There's no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. Why do I keep saying accursed? It's because of the Reaper.
Yeah.
I'm playing the Reaper. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruhodo.
The man has no one. You have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes. Sorry, I don't know what the foxes are doing outside, but they're distracting me.
Those are children.
Are they children? I can't tell if they're foxes or children.
As far as I'm aware, those were children playing, not foxes.
Anyway, well, it set off the dog. Something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen.
Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand.
You'll have to sit on the floor instead.
Yeah. No, they'll just get the whip to kick a Lib Dem out of the seat for you.
I'll be right there.
Sorry, I was reading earlier on that a certain somebody of 5 people was late for court. Not court.
Oh.
Late for Parliament.
Oh, seriously?
They kicked a Lib Dem MP out of the seat.
What?
So that he could speak.
What?
Anyway.
Pardon?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god. I like this, on that subject, it does amuse me that people are complaining it should be allowed to censor certain people from appearing on their screens all the time now.
Yeah, I should.
It's
I should be allowed.
It's just like, anyway, it's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. I mean, okay, he doesn't have a giant rack, though, to say, Phoenix, you got this. I believe in you. Do you think he might still show up as a ghost?
I think if he shows up as a ghost with a giant rack, we'll all be very happy. I thought you said boxes or children. I was searching the screen for. Oh dear. Sorry, it's outside. Yeah, there are kids playing outside, and Socket thought they were foxes.
Oh, well, don't really comfortable. We're standing alright. We go in time. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It
feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair.
I like how he brought the katana.
Yeah,
in
this
the
seems,
courtroom. Like,
yeah.
I know our bestie did it, but I just still. It's,
yeah.
Do you think his soul? Because he said, like, you know, the sword.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The soul. So he'll speak to us through the sword.
That's exactly it.
May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes. What?
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it. Oh.
Oh.
That's Van Zeke's alright.
Uh-huh. I've definitely missed this vibe guy.
Shall I do the judge? Give you a break?
I don't mind.
No,
You
I
want
want to
me
give you a break.
Okay.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. And I call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared.
That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Oh yes, of course. Sorry. I asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried.
Those eyes please me.
Nipponese.
I
think.
know what he said. I just don't like
that
it.
feels very bad. It's like,
They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
Ugh. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tip of my toes.
Hello, Scribbly Bear.
Hello. Now, Mr. McGilded.
Yes, my lord.
You stand accused of murder, a capital offence. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defence to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young, even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? No!
Oh, he
No,
fantasy
it's not.
games.
I'd like to think that acts of chivalry to do the great British Empire proud.
Listen to McGilded. What I find it. Oh, okay, too many
Did you hear
things.
that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day?
But please, maybe go play
Play
McGilded
McGilded
Park.
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Okay, I just need a moment here to look at all this. Like,
I reckon old Granny Knitting actually did it secretly.
yeah. Really, he's allowed to bring a knife into
Because
the courtroom?
apparently we're just straight up allowed knives in the courtroom back into Edwardian era.
You may have all
Yes,
this.
my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready.
Okay, this is definitely a British person. Confirmed. That's gammon.
Yeah. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
She's dead inside, checks out.
Yep. Oh, I'm doing all of them, am I?
Oh, no,
Huh! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me!
I'll go for the other ones. Hold on then.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, she has nothing to say.
That's the thingammy.
Yeah.
Court.
Yeah,
Stenographer?
yeah. Oh my god.
Is that the word?
I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
That's a big mitt.
Well,
Mr.
maybe he's a
Naruhodo.
Russian sailor.
That's true. Maybe he does have arms like tree
Yeah.
trunks.
Yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo, those people are...
The jury. Yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So, the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
How exactly did the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Zieks.
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you renounced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy, rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware? Kind of love him.
Extra bitch. I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So, the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he come... why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. She's not
As
even
you
actually
wish.
knitting.
Huh?
She's not even actually knitting.
Lying bitch. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason.
Sorry? Thrice? It was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh my.
Oh my.
The victim's corpse. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
that's your...
sorry.
Ahem.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. You can't say that without rolling your R, it's important.
Oh yeah.
Thrust! Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. The autopsy report has been entered into the court record.
Ding.
A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner. It gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging or as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
Ding.
A photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in the abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partially obscured from view by an old crooked hat.
And one
Hit.
further
Sorry.
item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
Gloves.
Clubs.
And these are... Oh, good lord, is that blood, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. I almost said accursed then too.
What? Mr. McGilda's gloves had blood on them? Bit sloppy to leave them behind, right? Like, yeah.
Sloppy.
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There is bloodstain on the right glove. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started.
Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers travelling inside his vehicle at the time.
Only 2?
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded.
Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing.
Mr. McGilded.
To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
It's a fucking mood though, like,
All right.
you know, you get in
Get in
there,
the
you just
car.
pass
Whoa.
out, yeah.
That's why I don't drive.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilting, so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas the desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed.
Unfortunately. And that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? It's all of it?
There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
Order! Order! Order!
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime.
That doesn't sound sus at all.
This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Also, I just gotta voice this for a second. I know he's a British prosecutor, but they gave him a surname that follows Dutch surname rules. And Ziek's meaning, well, Ziek is sick or sickness in Dutch, so I find his name extremely distracting.
The sickness. No,
Kind of
of the sickness.
Yeah, of the sickness. It's kind of what they're going for. But yeah, because they don't capitalize the van in unless it's like here.
He was a bat in the corner and he did it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, I just wanted to voice that it distracts the fuck out of me. I know his nationality is British.
Oh, that's Simon Bokow.
Wait, who?
No,
Yeah. I will not
British former politician who was Speaker of the House of Commons.
Oh.
But yeah, no, every time I see that, I just also just hear, order! Imagine showing up to trial with this much stacked against you, along with the victim, his blood on your hands, and multiple eyewitnesses. Yeah. Also, hello, great Scanado. Good to have you here.
But yeah, it's very much well. That'll be fine.
All you have to do is cast reasonable doubt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like, this is like, if he has as much money as he claims to do, this is extremely unrealistic. We don't even have...
What was he doing on the bus?
What was he doing on the bus?
Richest man in London, and he's on the bloody bus? I don't think so. Good thing we've got pluck and moxie on our side.
Oh, thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once.
Well, I wonder if these have... Oh. Wow, in Britain.
These all seem very trustworthy people. Witnesses, your names and occupations?
Oh, Beppo. My name is... Well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city.
Oh, no, he definitely can be trusted.
Yeah,
We
for
all know
sure.
bankers are trustworthy. My name's... You may have him. Look at this soft lad.
My name's First. Lady First. I make hats for gents.
Uh-huh.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnesses to the aforementioned incident.
Sorry.
Wait, no, they weren't, because there was the only 2 people on the bus.
Mhm.
Well, 2 people. I guess the
Yeah,
driver
yeah.
was on the bus too. But the only people on the bus were the victim and the defendant. And
Ah.
then these guys were there too.
I mean... Yeah, but these were on an omnibus, not the omnibus.
Oh,
So
an
they were like,
omnibus,
they
yeah.
must have been like nearby ones.
I always like to trust a banker with Waluigi facial hair. Yeah, it's he's very trustworthy, I think. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right. Yes, sir, that's right, sir.
Very well then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
You're very clearly, yes. Mr. Lady First killed him because he had such a shitty hat and refused to have a new one made. That's exactly it. Yup. Yep, you're correct,
Yup.
Galen.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Sure.
Sure.
Unambiguous. Testimony, I must say.
Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those witnesses possibly have seen what happened? Yeah, there's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage.
How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own.
Throw him in the...
But you're here in London yourself, and are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Tell me, my Nipponese friend. Have you even travelled in an omnibus?
Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning.
Yeah, literally just got off the ship today, Chuck. So rude. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is.
Oh, we're gonna go on a field trip.
Field trip.
What do you mean? The actual scene? How?
The carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much.
Okay, Fonzies, get in the canal. Have a nice swim
Get a
in the
hobby.
Thames.
With the
It's
corpse,
great
yeah.
around this time of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Thames is lovely any time of the year. You should absolutely swim in it. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building.
Oh my god. Here? What? The entire carriage?
Bailiff, bring in... bring forth the stricken omnibus.
Oh my god.
Oh, give me the bloody carriage.
Woo!
Oh,
Oh my god, London 5th Avenue.
Baker
Job
Street,
Masters.
Old Street and something like that.
City of Westminster.
Yeah, Baker Street, Old Street, and City of Westminster.
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing.
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. It's not exactly the East End, is it? No.
No, don't joke about this thing, Dan Doodles.
no,
Like, this
no,
game
never
will
do.
make
This game
the
will.
monsters. Oh!
4 passengers seated inside in the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus.
Yeah, in the winter, fuck off.
Yeah,
Can
right.
you imagine?
No.
Am I also supposed to believe that, like, that banker has ass outside in the cold?
No,
But
quite.
it could be on the inside. It's not happening, mate.
Quite. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
Ah, a skylight. Oh!
The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight.
That makes perfect sense. Well, Council, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna store it behind the counter.
That is the prosecution's wish. Yes.
Very well. I see no reason why not. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. The omnibus has been entered into the court record.
Yeah, the horses while we were at it. I reckon the horse did it.
I think it was like it just kicked with his little like back
No, I
leg,
think
like
it just-
straight into his chest, or
No, I think it just picked up a knife between its 2 front hooves. Like on a a horse show. Like one of those horse girl shows. And just stabbed him.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably stole its sugar lumps.
To be fair,
Yeah.
that I think is a
Yeah.
hell of a punishable offense. Anyway, the 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof deck that night. I can read. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene enters as evidence.
Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary.
I could help myself. I could help myself a lot by giving the omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Yes. We'll cross-examine the horses.
Extra Britain. Yes. This is definitely...
Let's just continue with proceeding. Then, the cross-examination council.
Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus. Yunosuke. Focus!
Yeah, with the 2 on top deck even sit next to one another. I don't know, it's really weird, right? Like...
Yeah, like one must have been sitting at the front and the other one behind.
Not necessarily.
I mean, do you
But
think...
it's weird, like on a bus, people don't normally sit next to each other
No,
if
that's
they
like-
can help it.
No, exactly. This is
But-
Britain we're talking about. what the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged the knife right into his guts.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and I saw it too. Like, really? From the angle you were at, mate? That's impossible. Anyway, alright, so when it happened, the only two people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And, so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend do the deed.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Or could it be...
Before we can jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Let's listen to those witness statements again a little more carefully this time. Are we gonna push him?
Last bus of the evening, few customers, remember it well.
That doesn't sound weird to me.
The victim and the man accused of killing were sat next to each other inside the
No,
bus.
next to each other.
It is weird
Why
too.
the hell would he have...
Yeah, why would they have been sitting... Actually...
I'm gonna press him some more on that.
Pull it.
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage.
That's right. When you sit up on top deck, the window's right there at your feet. You clearly can't see through that window. That's not... There's nothing in there.
No.
There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view.
Oh.
The two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Okay, so this is fucking weird, because this implies that he was on the top one, like...
Yeah, the actual angle implies that he was, like,
It's,
the other way round.
yeah, it's... Were they,
But I don't know.
were they riding backwards?
Maybe. I don't remember what the inside of the seat plan looked like.
Anyway,
Also, he specifically just said they were wearing hats.
yeah.
But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded.
How can you be so sure?
Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded's a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else.
Yeah, the suit is black.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded, who was apparently asleep though, so there is no room for doubt here.
I really wish there was.
And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Just gonna keep pressing because it doesn't hurt or something. Can sometimes just get more and more, so to speak. You actually saw the exact moment it happened.
How can I put this politely? The accused looks like Willy Wonka. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Hiding under the city things. Yeah, like, yeah, clearly. They just scooched out from under the thingy, the seat. Didn't I already testify to that? Well, our fair dinkum, hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days.
Do you want me to answer that truthfully, sir? Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little bit more detail. Oh.
My lord.
Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
Made up about what?
I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
Juror 3
What?
kind of based.
But...
Okay.
Okay.
There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway.
This is precisely what I was about to say.
I was So
As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. That's so extra. Imagine if courts actually work like this.
what is happening here?
Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. Imagine. It was literally just...
Oh. Oh.
Wait, fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a minute ago.
So, if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Yeah, fire absolutely has weight.
Yeah.
That is like...
And that was me yesterday, thinking that the whole emergency stopping the ship and the bolts all sliding shut was a little bit silly.
Yeah, well... Probably burning balls of tar!
That's the one.
Oh, it's gonna smell so good in here.
Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare.
That's right, I stabbed him. I screamed, I did, couldn't help it.
Look at this. He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed.
Okay, you guys are sitting side by side, apparently. Interesting.
Yeah, everyone, it's weird, right? Oh, he's not wearing gloves.
He's not! He is not.
Nobody in that carriage is wearing brown leather gloves.
No.
Takes upwards of a dozen mummies to make enough balls of flammable paper for a single court case.
I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around.
It's just as well we got, like, you know, our national museums and all.
Yeah.
But then I happened to look down through the skylight.
We were?
Oh, sorry, for a second. It was sticking right out from his belly.
It was sticking right out from his belly. That huge great knife.
Hold on, like, I actually... Yeah, so he was sitting indeed on that side.
Yeah.
I believe I'm also supposed to, like...
Oh, yeah.
He did say that.
So, the seats don't face like that.
Like, that's fucking weird. Like, so they must have been sitting here on the inside. Because these guys probably sat here.
Yeah, they must have been sitting
and
on
those
that
guys
other
must
seat
have been
going
sitting,
backwards,
like,
which is
over
weird.
here.
This is the Phoenix Wright Omnibus.
Oh my god! Oh, I can't expect this, can I? Can't find anything out of place.
Boo hiss.
What's 418? Is that a reference to anything?
I don't know. Bit on the nose. Yeah, it is a bit on the... Oh, it's cute though. It's just a nice little... What was it? 418? 418 bus timetable.
Huh.
Apparently it's the Kingston upon Thames to Epsom bus route.
I take that bus.
Yes.
I'm sitting here like... Sorry. While we're here, let's look inside. You can certainly see the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Apparently the HTTP 418 I'm a teapot client error response code indicates that the server refuses to brew coffee because it is permanently a teapot. Yeah, I don't know either. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us. Okay, so can we have like a better inspection? Can we check the door?
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Oh my god! We get to go in!
Van Sook's on the jury just watching silently as the two of them clamber over the omnibus, making light commentary. Yeah, right?
Why does it have
Yeah, they
the
can't
Eiffel
see the-
Tower?
It's the Great Exhibition.
Oh yeah, we literally
I
had a
vaguely
conversation
remember
about
actually
this.
that there was something like that, but
Okay, well, ignoring the
the blood for now, yeah.
that's supposed for the Great Exhibition. Exhibition.
The Great Expedition!
That's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition.
Ooh, the Crystal Tower! It's under construction already, I believe. Londoners' Allegans confirmed? I guess. Can you hide under the seats? Yeah, we should look and see it. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Okay,
Yeah.
first before I do that, I'm first gonna check out the blood. Blood.
That's blood. Oh, that's yours.
That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't look like it was a planned attack. Because there's also the thing, like, right, like, why would you do that?
There's a handle over
Yeah,
there.
we're
Is
gonna
that-
check out the handle. Because that's sussy.
Yeah.
This seat has a handle, it seems.
Oh.
Yeah. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running.
Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems.
There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure.
Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway.
Yeah, candles, you were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think you've cracked it, so you have.
Don't think there's anything I haven't.
I'm going to assume the other poster is exactly the same.
Yeah, I can check, but. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through this. We've been through this conversation.
Was that actually... I know the Crystal Palace was a thing that we built, but...
Okay. Well, we've done a little bit of investigating here. This is useful. Okay, let's investigate these gloves. That's blood. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Well, nothing will come of grumbling now.
No, by the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Aha. Huh, pity. If only he'd been left-handed.
I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
I'd like to point out that's children playing.
Yes,
They are not getting murdered.
probably.
Probably. There's annoying
That
beeping
beeping's
out
very
there.
irritating though, isn't it? Cripes. Cripes!
Okay, yeah, so this is the crime scene photo.
Yeah, so we can't do anything much about that.
No.
I mean, we can't do anything. He's missing a button.
Oh! I haven't seen that.
I
He
wonder
is,
if
isn't
that's
he?
relevant.
Like, yeah. Hmm. Time and cause of death. 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen. Yeah. A grim sight indeed. Ah, that didn't help me at all. The jury looks like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before.
That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Oh, yes, yes, sir? Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it! The very one, sir!
Is that?
Yes. Council, this is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
That is a blade of considerable size, Council.
It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar.
Who the fuck would be stupid enough to do that?
I know, right? Using their own knife is...
Yeah, why does it have its sheet? Well, clearly a murderer used it and then put
then-
it back in and like just left it.
Yeah, no, or it's just... They're so extra in Extra Britain that they just stab the whole... It's kind of like when cereal says that it's like the whole grain, uses the whole grain.
Uh-huh.
Over here, we're so wholesome, we use the whole knife. Nothing left out. All the goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, we find a defendant guilty. Yeah. Let's hope not, otherwise this game is a lot shorter than it's supposed to be.
Please no.
For Magnus, perhaps, or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick.
Ronald McDonald did it.
It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yeah, like in Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel. The murder weapon has been entered into the court record.
Ding.
A largish knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggests it must be quite valuable. Actually, oh,
My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
I'm too busy. I'm gonna investigate the knife.
Okay.
Fine.
Oh.
Or that could be a W.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that looks like a W, man.
Yeah, actually, you don't tend to get that flourish at the beginning unless you're my handwriting.
Yeah. No,
Although
that's...
it could also be an M, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it looks like a W to me.
Right. So like a...
Yeah, if you're pulling that out, I don't know. I think that's a W.
Yeah. An ornate letter M. Undeniably, Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial.
And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Yeah, you normally throw at the end of a letter, not at the
Yeah,
start. Yeah,
quite.
exactly. Ah!
What is it?
Oh, look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything.
A W?
Yes, I think it's one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I am sure of is that this is an M.
Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. No!
No, that's a f***ing W.
Get
Got
out!
It looks way more like a W than you also tend to lean forwards rather than backwards. I also do it at the start. But that's only because I'm stupid and extra and you don't tend to do it on monograms.
Oh, it is.
But okay.
That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just really don't like blades.
Oh. And those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
That's not a blade. That's because of my soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Why did we put it in while it's bloodied?
You don't do that to a scabbard. You
Rip of Rooney! That thing is so cursed now.
We're
never gonna dirty.
get the inside of that clean. Ever. Oh, oh.
Let's look at it, shall we?
That's so...
That looks like a lot of blood.
It surely is blood. The victims.
An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand.
To be fair, he bought it in a tiny carriage.
I don't think he cares. Yeah, no, it's true, but still.
not much like that really stands out from the blade, though. I was like, yep, that's a stabby lad.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sure got stabbed with that. Okay, I'll go back to what she had to say.
If you'll forgive the interruption.
Ah, juror number 2. Go on.
Mr. McGildet is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However...
Oh!
Those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish!
I see. We are in deep shit already.
Yeah. That's very profound, Mr. Naruhodo, but in recent memory you've seen Dr. Wilson's blood.
I don't wish to cause offence, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion. Okay,
Wow.
so he's already basically fucked.
Unless,
Not again.
that's 4 out of 6 jurors.
That's, yeah, like,
Proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. So I guess 1 white is enough.
yeah, I guess then you don't, I mean, they all have to agree, I guess. We've had it.
True. Yeah, good try. Back to Japan. Bye. The thing in the carriage, though, right? The hiding place, right?
Yeah.
Also, whose gloves are those? Because they ain't.
Yeah.
They ain't.
Clearly, like, their
On the
memories.
other hand, he did say that he doesn't. So now I'm confused because he's like, if you see a man bleeding to death in front of you, you don't worry about getting your gloves dirty. But in that picture, he's not wearing gloves.
No. So that's
I'm
weird.
so confused. He's like, yeah.
Well, because that's of course like the victim's memory. I mean, sorry, the witness's memories.
memory,
Like,
yeah,
how much can
really.
we trust that?
Not quite.
Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may fly. I mean, may well fly. Sorry.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But all right, I'll keep trying. Can't give up.
Yeah, maybe the guy next to the victim wasn't him, yeah.
Yeah. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witness statements again.
That guy wears brown gloves.
He sure does. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. Yeah, okay. Alright, so when it happened, the only 2 people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant.
Allegedly.
And so help me, 3 whole people. Oh, we saw.
I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGildet really innocent? Or should it... Or could it be... Yeah, fine.
Before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
You're absolutely right. Let's listen to those witness statements again, a little bit more carefully this time. Okay, so we're just...
Did we actually, double... I mean, did we press him?
Not on this, but we could do.
On anything.
Yes. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Yeah, yes, sir, that's right, sir, yes. Ever so cold, it was for freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's correct, sir. Not all travelling in the same part of the bus, of course, no. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. Yes, quite right, sir. No other passengers like that. No,
Do you want me
never.
to take him over so
No,
you're not
it's-
talking to yourself the whole time?
It's okay. So, nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does every evening. the bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yeah, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20% on the run, you
20
see.
pence.
20 pence, thank you. So 20% of what? Yeah, I spent that much on the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Poor sod.
Yeah, the victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus.
Yeah, we've pressed that. And out of the blue.
Reached over, plunged a knife right into his guts. Doesn't seem very, but
No.
you know.
He stabbed him, I screamed at you, I pressed him on that.
He did say on his way home, not necessarily there.
Actually, did
As
we
soon as
press
I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. We didn't press
No,
that.
I wanna push for that. What exactly did you see? Yeah. Oh, well, sir, that will be the passenger, sir. The collapsed on the floor. He was.
No, he
It's
wasn't.
not true.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was on the seat.
And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Yeah, we should actually ask him about the same side, but.
Yeah.
And then the other passenger. Oops, that's you.
And then the other passenger had the knife in his hand, like this.
By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded.
And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger belly.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Some of them is his stomach, it's the abdomen. He got kind of stabbed in the lower.
Well, yeah, but like, so the guy screamed.
Yeah, which does not.
Then he stopped the bus and looked around, and then he saw him stabbing him.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, bus driver did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but the bus driver did it.
Oh, my lord, I wish to speak. Sorry.
Yeah, they take the route every single day, right? So the horse knows where it's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just clambered in, stabbed the guy.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take that you too?
As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. Whatever. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say.
No, please, just keep an open mind.
Gee up now, Silverblaze. The finish is in sight. Like,
You'll.
is this scripted, or are we actually fucking up? Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
Nah, I think it's
Well,
because
you
of.
shouldn't. But
Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. I don't trust him.
no.
This is too unkind, sir.
You see us actively drinking gin in the Jerus box. Absolutely. This is the Wild West of the current Empire times.
We got one with a knife.
Yeah,
I'm
one-
worried about the one.
Yeah, no. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Hail Britannia.
Oh, we just got
Just
Granny
Granny
left.
left. Madam Juror number 6. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. Knight this juror immediately. Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. Is this
Yeah, I
her
think
still?
I think that's
He
still
is
her.
always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right. A man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, may we go to the McGill
Oh,
Public
this is just general
Library
people.
later and borrow some more books? Sorry, I didn't
No,
realise
it's
there were
just
different
people.
ones.
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is?
Oh, organ music! What kind of a man is he?
The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. Yeah, short. But where did all that wealth come from?
I mean, to be fair, nobody should have that much money.
No,
That
this
is
is
very
true.
sussy.
You're very sussy. Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls.
What?
Stone the crows.
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him.
You know what? Maybe we should just let him go to the guys.
At least he's not a landlord.
Well.
Or is he?
Mm.
When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So, has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own?
Yeah, that's the sussy part.
What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service?
You're not saying that.
The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded.
Oh no.
Ruh-roh. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed, was the final repayment date for his debts.
Killing him is not going to get you your money, though.
No.
Like, good gracious.
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts.
This is why you have that hat on.
I guess so. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him. His life. Then the banker did it. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, pound of flesh and all that jazz. If I might add something briefly.
Miss Susato?
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
What?
What?
Oh, we're all just court drinking
we're
now.
all just, yeah. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Sounds like a euphemism.
There it is, Lord Van Ziek's hollowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable?
But I find myself in the unexpectedly good humour. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
As judicial assistant to the defence, I am simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. Tomato soup, yes. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. Pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
A marvellous toast, counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. The debtor's the debtor's ledger has been entered into the court record.
Ding!
A catalogue of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas.
That's a lot of guineas.
Ah.
Wait until now. The drama!
Yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense.
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel!
Wow, okay.
Still, maybe it's all for the best.
Wait a minute. Let's think about this.
I don't stand for nonsense.
Okie dokie.
Um,
So...
that was it. The last juror's decision.
According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the preceding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Sorry, presiding even. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defence...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Miss Susato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes.
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. Had you put that away already? When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. What is that beeping?
A summation examination?
Objection!
Yeah, like, how did we not cover this part at this point?
I know, right?
A summation examination. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected?
Ah!
Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention.
Oh.
It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
There's that, but like the practice armband that slipped down. Beautiful. Oh, sorry. What even is it? Oh, yeah. What even is it? So this so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions. Like, that seems like kind of weird. Like,
Yeah, that is...
like once they have yeeted the fire, you can't unyeet
No,
the
right?
fire. Come on,
The
that's
fire
pretty...
must be unyoked!
It's like, oh, you gotta go back and fish it back out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the one.
yes.
The defense has the right to perform a new gameplay mechanic.
Yes. In times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Still. I'm sorry, it's
I'm
just
sorry.
I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Come on, of course we're gonna assert our right.
Yeah,
Come
right.
on. Fuck that. The defense wishes to assert its right to summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
This is madness.
Foreman, are you and your remainder of the jury ready?
Eh? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds? Coffee grounds.
You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty.
Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with all this justifying lot.
That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe it might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds of which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime. Oh no, England won.
Oh, did they? Yay.
Neither of our countries managed.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fair's fair. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4p for years.
That doesn't check with the...
4 passengers, 4
40
pence,
20.
20 pence.
Yeah, that doesn't
That's
work.
5 passengers.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes.
No,
No.
not even.
No. It's 4 passengers paying 5.
Yeah, 4 passengers. No, but I mean like... Yeah, no, you literally... Yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but it wouldn't count for 5 passengers.
Therefore...
'Cause-
No, exactly.
Yeah.
There's just somebody who didn't pay.
It's just simple maths. Yeah, right? 4 plus 4 equals 20, exactly. I mean, 4
Anyway.
times 4. Yes, I know what I mean. 4 plus 4.
But
Five,
yeah,
five
no.
times 4.
I haven't read Prices of Revolvers for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was another.
But not necessarily. No, because
Hmm. If he paid.
yeah.
Huh?
No, I mean, yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's not. So that's not right. I mean, that's
He might have
if he
been-
took her fares totaling 20 pence, then they weren't paying 5 each. But you know,
Yeah, Phoenix Wright cases are insane.
yeah,
And
they're insane and
also-
surprisingly compelling.
Oh!
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars
He
belief.
didn't stab him on the floor! We've been through this!
Yeah, right.
He was sitting!
He was sitting on the chair, as the photo says. Get with it, Granny.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo.
And you can say things about it, but you have to find the right moment when they are
Yeah.
talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's some of the older games had it a little bit easier, where you could
Yeah,
just
where you could
interrupt
just
them and
interrupt
yeet
stuff.
evidence at them. But this one
And
also,
like yesterday, for example, when we were doing the boat case.
yeah,
And it was like, oh yeah, he died instantly, and yet he scrawled the word
yeah,
wardrobe
and
on the
we were
floor
just
in
sitting there-
Russian.
yeah.
And we had to pick different bits of evidence first.
Yeah.
When they were like, doesn't anything strike you as odd about the crime scene? And we were like, well, yeah. Coroner's report says that he dies instantly, but he wrote wardrobe on the floor to incriminate us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we clicked on it, and they were like, no, that's
Yeah.
not the evidence. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
What is that beat, though? Seriously.
I have no idea. It's driving me insane.
It's so annoying. I hope it's not being picked up by the
Mm-hmm.
mic.
Once you're ready.
Anyway, sorry. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh. I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says.
Oh, but then
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may
oh
become.
boy.
Mm.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make it work then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
Uh-huh. What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
Oh my, we're just
making them fight.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes. I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord.
Hail, Lord Judge. We who are about to justice salute you.
Oh my god! The defendants
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
Yeah, we have suspicions.
I have suspicions
But we
about
can't
that, but we
Sholmes
can't
our way
show it.
out of this.
Yeah, no, quite.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20
So we'll
pence.
just put those two against
so
each
yeah,
other.
her
We'll pit her.
versus the
I
coach
can
driver.
already
yeah.
do that. Pit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really cool.
This is actually pretty nice mechanic, yeah.
Objection.
Yeah, that doesn't... Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do. Explain yourself, counsel.
Dodge doesn't have ears.
Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silverblaze's name and main, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about.
According to the group testimonies we've heard so far, there are 4 passengers on the omnibus in the night in question, on the night. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Quite right. I have those precise details taped neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man, why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication,
Ah! It would be 16 pence!
exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare.
The reason I was getting so confused earlier on, I realised,
Eh.
was that I was going like, yeah, 4 times 4, yes, but then where's the extra 5 pence coming
Oh
from?
my god!
Like, my brain was just going like, yes, 4 pence, and then I was trying to add 5 pence to that. But yeah, so 5
yeah.
passengers
Yeah,
of 4
exactly,
pence each.
5,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
hmm
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say, and then
Yes.
I multiplication a wizard. Yes.
Yes, in other words, on the omnibus last night, or this night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious!
This can't be right. The coachmen are the guild of good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he let nefarious characters ride his omnibus. But,
All right, then how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end,
Well, according to my book here,
You simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales.
it's like you just keep launching
Now
fireballs.
hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo!
Oh! Oh!
Boing!
Oh!
Fire!
Does his black thing also change?
Oh, this is all very irritating.
begging your pardon, sir.
I'm going to do the same. Boing.
This is gonna keep happening.
Very much hope so. For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all.
I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. No, really.
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more. Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Assertions, even. I
Then
was gonna
that's
say.
where you must strike next. I actually haven't.
No, so I need to
I
continue it. No, okay, hold on. I think it's the stabbing because Granny
Oh, yeah,
says
yeah,
he's on
Granny
the floor and the
says-
other one's like right, like, you know, sideways.
Yeah, like
you know,
sideways. Yeah,
so
yeah, that's what it
pretty
is.
sure
It
it's
is.
those
It's the
two,
floor.
but
yeah,
I'll double
yeah.
check.
I'd forgotten about Granny.
Exactly.
I'd forgot what she said. Sorry, Duckley, you can do it. Sorry.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your examination. Yeah, okay, so I'm changing my oh, sorry, you're here.
I'm changing my name to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuck the chat next to him just like this, brazen.
Yeah, so I can already pit them against
Let
each
the
other
statement
because
hit
she's
the
like,
flower.
alright, Granny. Pit! Go fight. These two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel. Post haste.
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
Okay, mittens or jumper? What? What?
Oh, Granny really can't be trusted.
No, right, actually? What is all this claptrap? Claptrap? Claptrap. What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from more than one witness that they all allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see that I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Yeah, the thing is, like, yeah, the Duchess hair flies up, and yeah, like, in Phoenix Wright, when you start breaking people's focus, weird things start happening. It's one of my favorite things, like,
Yeah,
in the
that was
court.
fun back in the day.
They
yeah.
like, they absolutely make fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do you for, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear. As far as I understand it.
Yeah, sorry, also another thing that I actually think is fun now they have 3D animations. Even if you're not 100% paying attention to what they're saying, she made a stabbing motion down with her
Needle.
needle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she did do that earlier. So it just, visually, it's...
It's more likely to stick.
Yeah, exactly, which is useful. And there she goes.
Yeah.
It was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now, don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. Well, I never! They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle.
What this tells me is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh!
But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me.
I can't abide people telling lies. The scales. I don't believe it. Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Dark Jinx.
Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
He can't.
What fucking reasonable doubt, you miserable old... Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor and then Shylock stabbed him again. Can we stop using that, actually? And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you! He's used multiplication on us, he has. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you!
They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see the two different moments of the same crime?
No, it's the thing he said.
It's out of the question.
The single stab wound.
Yeah, it's a single stab wound. Exactly.
So, no.
No, it's out of the question. And also... No, just no.
Like, yeah, the coroner's report literally said it was a single stab wound, right?
Yeah. Let's check it.
Once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus.
Yeah.
And he was still sitting unless you sit him up again. Yeah, that's also true.
Exactly, like, the blood. Actually, the blood sits in an awkward place. Actually...
Yeah, but that could just be the art style.
No, but when we investigated the
carriage,
the blood was here.
Yeah, but it could have run down his back and pulled underneath him.
Yeah, but the fact there's nothing at the back here is kind of weird. But yeah, I'll just suspend our disbelief. It is a bit weird,
Or
though.
he could have pulled, it could have run down the front of him and pulled between his legs through his clothes.
Exactly.
That's also possible if the knife didn't go out the back again.
But like the first case very much also was determined by where the blood location was. So I'm like,
fair.
Don't do this to me.
Hmm.
Can I just open it? I'm going to have to sit through the conversation. Oh no, I just wanted to have a quick look.
Yeah, I think most likely they're going for the...
Yeah, I just put it
But
basically
also, yeah, if he'd been
under
stabbed
him.
on the floor, the blood would also be on the floor.
Yeah, like he didn't get stabbed like straight into the cushion at the back.
But I
there,
reckon
okay.
it ran down his front and pulled between his leggies.
Yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, Mr. Foreman.
What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, out with it.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What? What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realise that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof.
It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish.
It better be the coroner's report saying he was stabbed once.
Yeah, I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime as proven by, I'm gonna go with the autopsy report.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once.
Eh? Only once?
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times.
All right, I concede defeat.
Whee! Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won.
I wouldn't count that.
Are you playing at your dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus.
I said, shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one, and if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
All right, you crazy bish.
Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to I know I'm putting that word. And the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to turn to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Member of the Honourable Company of Barber Surgeons he is, yes. Horrifying concept.
So, Lord von Zieks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Now he's just get drunk.
I bet it's just pink fizzy.
He looks like the male lead in a manhwa.
He does. He really does.
Or possibly the second male lead.
The crazy one.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes.
Yeah, the crazy one.
Having savoured the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord von Zieks? Is this cold in here, or is it just me?
This hallowed soup cup. As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honoured a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There's nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence, after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle.
Oh!
Bring forth the witnesses once more!
That beeping is infuriating.
It's driving me up the wall. Witnesses! I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman, I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. Is that perjury? Perjury! That makes more sense.
See also Kevin Perjurer.
Yeah. You're advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh dear. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Okay. Looking at the time and where we are right now, I think we shouldn't make it much later, so this might be a perfect place to
Cliffhanger!
to start next time.
Are you gonna really not play the game for an entire
I
week?
am really not going to play the game until next week.
Wow!
I'm gonna save it. I'm just gonna do the rest on stream.
Wow.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
We can all solve
That's
cases
good.
together.
I do quite enjoy enjoy solving cases together, actually.
Yeah. I'm so
we're
gonna
gonna
do
do
this. But we also to save our throats because poor Pocket has to go out and socialise tomorrow.
I do. Well, yeah, no, but that's fine.
I know you don't have to talk much.
The next one should be next Tuesday.
Yeah.
We do Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh,
thank you so much. My goodness.
But yeah, it's yeah, we'll continue again.
Yeah,
like next.
I want to do
next Tuesday.
But once I think we might actually keep our word when we say what we're going to stream.
Yeah, we're actually going to continue streaming this until we're done with it. I'm glad I finally got to play this game.
Accursed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We are accursed streamers. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we are. I'm extremely sorry.
You can always watch the VoD.
Yeah, you can also.
If you really need to know what happens.
Actually, hold on.
Please don't watch yesterday's VoD where I do some extremely bad Russian accents on the previous case. the whole time. Ah.
Sorry, I accidentally checked the profiles.
Mm.
He's an eyewitness. Yeah, none of
You
these
witnessed it
people.
from there. Also,
His artwork is terrifying.
isn't it?
Anyway. Oh, do you get profile for male Stronghard? He scares me so
He is
bad.
quite scary, yeah. And he does look like a Pokemon trainer, though.
He does. He does. He does. Anyway, I'm gonna end on this beautiful banker's face, I guess.
They do look like Professor Layton extras, though.
Oh my god, they do.
But then the little animation at the beginning also really made me think of the Professor Layton bit. Like,
Yeah. I hope that they remake the crossover.
Oh yeah, they did do a
Yeah.
crossover, didn't they?
They did do a Ace Attorney Professor Layton crossover.
As someone who is quite a Professor Layton fan back in the day,
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah. I never got a chance to play it, so I'm like,
It was yeah.
yeah.
No, that would be a lot of fun. I do hope they remake it. That would be
Yeah.
good.
I just have to go through all the games in this series. Like, I'm so excited for the Miles Edwards game. Like, I've only played the first one. I mean, the second one never got localized.
Yes. See you next time, hopefully. That'll
Yes!
be fun. Thanks for dropping by. We really appreciate it.
Aye. Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we do our goodbyes before that beep drives us up
That
the
beep
wall?
is. Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you
Yeah.
go to a fast food chain and like one of the
Registers.
Yeah.
Right? It's just doing that beep.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it is. Where is it even coming
I
from?
don't know.
It's somewhere outside. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's probably a car alarm or something.
Yeah.
But girl.
Anyway.
Anyway, could be worse. It could be the camper van next door doing their alarm this year again. Anyway.
Aye.
Shall I?
Yes.
Carbon monoxide detector, yes. Thankfully not from our house. We
no.
don't have one. We do, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to our stream. Don't forget, keep the cat in your heart or the omnibus in your homnibus. Yeah.
Don't
Always
do
follow
murders
the
in
cover
cars.
motto: live, laugh, objection. And until next time, hope you be well. Good night.
Good night.